Okay, so first of all, everybody, it is geschmack to see you guys here. It's a tremendous honor. And on the eve of Rosh Hashanah, and Rafi's going to teach us in a few minutes, but first I'll just share something about the daf that we did tonight. We did the daf tonight here. Shia, get a whole panoramic view of everyone so everybody could see. Yeah, beautiful. Everybody came out from their dorms on the eve of Rosh Hashanah to do for the final Thursday of the year. The final Thursday of the year, we're spending it by learning Torah. Man, that's right. What? Yeah, we call it a Daf Thursday. Daf Thursday. Okay, so I just want to share one more from the Daf we did tonight from Taanis Base, because I'm going to share with that how it relates to
Yeshiva.
To Rosh Hashanah. Because it says, the Gemara says that Reish Lakish teaches us. What does Reish Lakish say? Reish Lakish says in the name of Kapara, Ne'emra atzira b'gshamim. It says the word atzar by rain. When the rain doesn't come down, it's called atzar. Ne'emra atzira b'isha. And it says the same word atzira by a woman. What do you mean that a woman is unable to give birth? Ne'emra atzira b'isha, because it states with respect to Avimelech, what happened was that the wives of his household were unable to give birth. It says, Ki atzor atzar Hashem ba'ad kol rechem v'beis Avimelech al dvar Sarah eshes Avram. It says that Hashem had stopped all the women from Avimelech's house from being able to give birth on account of Sarah, the wife of Abraham. And then it says atzira b'gshamim because it says v'atzaras hashamayim u'yamatar. And so therefore we see that the word otzer, to stop, is used by a woman who's barren and also by rain. But how does this relate to Rosh Hashanah's Torah reading? How does it relate to Rosh Hashanah's Torah reading? So anybody know how this relates? It directly relates. It's not just like a vort. This directly relates. This pasuk, what? No. This is chapter 20, verse 18. What happens right after this? No, almost. Almost. What's the Torah reading for the first day of Rosh Hashanah? V'Hashem pakad Sarah kasher amar. God remembered Sarah like he said. God remembered Sarah like he said. Is it jogging? Here, pass me, Sam. Pass me the Chumash and I'll...
Vayera.
What?
Vayera.
It's in Parshas Vayera, but it says V'Hashem pakad Sarah kasher amar. Again, how does it relate to this verse? So it says as follows. Chapter 20 of Bereshis. Chapter 20. Hold on. Open up the Chumash. And it says like this. Pasuk says... Hold on. It says right here. Okay, here we go. It says in chapter 20, verse 18, Ki atzar Hashem ba'ad kol rechem, v'veis Avimelech al dvar Sarah eshes Avram. That's the last pasuk of chapter 20. The very next pasuk is the pasuk that we start the Torah reading for Rosh Hashanah. The very next pasuk, if you're following along, is chapter 21, verse 1, and it says, V'Hashem pakad Sarah kasher amar. What's the connection between the two verses? What's the connection between the two verses? What's the connection? Hashem had stopped all the women of Avimelech's household from being able to give birth because they were being punished for having kidnapped Sarah. And that verse is repeated prior to the last verse before the Torah reading for Rosh Hashanah. We don't read Ki atzor Hashem ba'ad kol rechem v'beis Avimelech, but we read V'Hashem pakad Sarah. What's the connection between the two verses? The first Rashi of the Torah reading for Rosh Hashanah tells us the connection. What's the first Rashi tell us? The first Rashi tells us Samach Parsha Zulakan. The two verses are next to each other to teach us Lamedcha Shekol Hamivakesh Rachamim al Chavero. Anybody first prays for mercy for their friend, V'utzarach oso davar, and he needs that same thing, Hunanet Tchila. He's going to be answered first, as it says, Vayit Palel in verse 17. Vayit Palel Avram El Elokim. God prayed to Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Avimelech. And the very next pasuk says that Hashem answered Avram's prayer. Shepakad kfar kodem sheripas Avimelech. Immediately, before he even healed Avimelech, first God comes along and heals Sarah. We see here a very powerful idea, as this is the Torah reading for Rosh Hashanah. This is the Torah reading for the first day of Rosh Hashanah. We read this right before we begin the Musaf prayers. And what we're saying is, if we really want our prayers to be effective, then we first have to daven for other people. Now, I know what you're saying. You could say, well, then I'm going to daven for other people just so my prayers can be effective. That's kind of missing. That's not the point, right? No, the point is, if we want our prayers to be effective, we have to be outward focused with our prayers. Chazal say, before we can daven for our own needs, we have to first think about somebody else's needs. Why were the Gemara asks, we did this Gemara this year in the Daf Yomi, why did Hashem make all the righteous, the Imahot, barren? The reason why Hashem made the Imahot barren is because Hashem wanted to hear their prayers. Why does Hashem want to hear their prayers? What do you mean Hashem needs their prayers? No, the answer is what we just said here. The answer is that first their prayers need to be outward focused. They need to be praying for other people, and only then will their prayers be answered. So that's what we see when we daven in. And what does this mean for us practically? When we daven on Rosh Hashanah, whatever minyan we daven in. If you're davening in the Hillel, wherever you daven. The bottom line is that our prayers, our focus has to be, how can we use the spiritual energy, the spiritual inspiration that we gain this year from our prayers, how can we use it to help other people? That's why the very first pasuk that we say is Vashem Pakad Asar, to teach this lesson, that Sarah was only remembered only once Avram prayed for Avimelech. And think about who he's praying for. Who is he praying for? Who's Avimelech? A kidnapper. He kidnapped his wife. Only when he prayed for Avimelech was he first answered. Anybody have any questions about this? Sure. Okay, wait, but nobody leave, because now